What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we have a huge rent crisis going on in the U.S. And I don't have to tell you guys this. You guys let me know a lot of the stuff that's going on when it comes to financials and our economy. But right now, rent is really, really high in a lot of different areas, and it's not going down anytime soon. I'm going to show you some information that's really going to shock you when it comes to rent. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification, clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so let me get right over to this article. And they were talking about rent, and they were comparing rent to income growth. Now, this is what we really, really need to be paying attention to. And you can look at the headline here. It says, America's growing rent burden. And what they show here, and just looking at the graph, if I can pull it up, here we go. They're showing you this right here is rent growth. This right here is income growth. Obviously, you can see there's a huge problem there. And they took this information starting in 1999, so from 1999 to 2023. So you see, when it comes to income growth, and that's why when you hear politicians talking about we need to raise the minimum wage, now there's positives and negatives to raising the minimum wage, because that will raise the prices of everything if you're raising up minimum wage. And so, and what a lot of companies will do is they'll just pass that on to the consumer. So if you raise minimum wage, if they're forced to raise the minimum wage, then they're just going to pass it on to consumers. We see them do that all the time. And one example of this, and it's just coming to my head right now, when it comes to grocery stores, when it came to the cheaper bags, now you have to buy the more expensive bags. And you didn't have to buy bags before because they were cheap bags, and the grocery store, it was just priced into their costs. But now they're charging you per bag because the bags are thicker bags and they're more reusable, where the bags before were kind of the throwaway bag. And so when California forced companies to use these thicker bags that cost more money, they just passed it on to us. They didn't do anything as far as raising prices. Well, they probably raised prices of products as well, but they did pass that the cost of the bag on to us. And who knows, it could have just been a way for them to make more profits. They're probably not. I mean, I don't even know what you're paying now, like 10 cents per bag or whatever. But they might even be getting the bag for 5 cents and then charging you 10 cents. And then they're making 5 cents more than they would have made before, just because of this whole situation. So just looking at this graph here, I just want to kind of go over some of the things. So we've talked about that 134.9%. Okay, that is the rent growth. And that's over that time period from 1999 to 2023. Income growth is only 76.8%. Rent growth has grown almost twice as much as income growth. That's a huge problem. And this is not going to be solved anytime soon, because we know how rent goes. Rent goes up, it's usually not going to come down. The only time it's going to come down is if people are just not renting that place. And we know that landlords in certain areas can get pretty much whatever they want for rent. You can have a closet and charge $2,000 without a bathroom. A bathroom's down the hall, showers down the hall. You just have a little room with a little kitchenette set, and you're paying $2,000 a month. And they can get away with it in certain areas. In New York, they can get away with that. And in some of the, maybe in Los Angeles and some of the major cities, they can get away with it. And one of the reasons for that is people like to stay close to work, and so they're paying a little bit extra for that. They're paying a premium. And so this is one of those things that I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. And we already know the argument right now when it comes to, like I was talking about, raising minimum wage and things like that. You have politicians on both sides. One says they want to raise minimum wage, but you also have the opposition, and it tends to be Republicans saying, no, we're not going to raise the minimum wage. And so because of that, that's not going to go anywhere. However, one of the good things that we're learning and we're finding out about right now is the fact that people are working remotely more. And because of that, people don't have to live in these major cities. They can live pretty much all over the U.S. and sometimes all over the world, because you could be living in another country and still doing remote work. And so that's going to change things when it comes to rent, I think, in the far future, not in the near future. In the near future, I think we're still going to be looking at numbers like this, but in the future, let's say 10 years down the road, we might have a whole different workforce. And if we have a whole different workforce, that would mean that the prices for rent will go down, as well as house prices in these major cities. They might tend to go down just because you're going to have people, they have options now. They have choices. They don't have to be in the major cities. They can do the remote work. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and see where that goes. But it's very, very interesting just to look at articles like this and to see that when it comes to rent growth, it's just through the roof. But when it comes to income growth, it's not keeping up. And so this is just another thing. Now, if you're on a fixed income, it's even worse for you, because with income growth, if you're working, you're going to be getting raises and things like that. So it will continue to go up. But when it comes to a fixed income, someone who's receiving Social Security, someone who has a 401k, your income is not going to go up like that. And so the only time that you'll probably see it go up is for a cost of living adjustment or something like that. And if it's a 401k and you're taking money out of the 401k, you need to be careful because you want that money to outlast you. And so it's a real bad situation when it comes to the cost of things. And the cost of rent is no different than some of the other things that we're looking at that's inflated right now. And so I just wanted to update you on this, but I want to know what your situation is. Are you struggling right now when it comes to rent? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.